We are back for small business quick wins presented by Thrive, and we have an awesome guest here. Before he tells you about himself, I want to know we're talking with Steve Jones from Microsoft. This guy is super passionate about AI. He's all in on Microsoft's Copilot. He is a principal group engineering manager over at Microsoft, and we're going to dig in to how to get to use AI for your small business. Steve, welcome to Small Business Quick Wins.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Pleasure to be here.
Awesome. Excellent. So, Steve, before we get into how small business owners can really leverage AI in all sorts of ways, tell us a little bit about you. What do you do? Who's Steve?
Yeah, so I am a enterprise seller for Microsoft. Clearly, AI has been a priority for us since its inception, and really, it's been in the works for a long time now. But Microsoft came to market probably in November and released AI to the mainstream and all of our customers. But I'm very passionate about AI. I feel like AI is in a place where it's going to explode, and that most people, businesses, enterprises are going to look back, 5 years from now and say, "Man, I don't know how we ever really got along without this stuff." It is the next forefront of technology, similar to the internet, is my opinion. But I'm in a technology industry veteran for about 20 years now. The last four have been with Microsoft.
I love that, I'm totally with you. I don't think that people think, oh, AI, you just go on to one of the tools like Copilot or any of the other ones, and you ask it to help you write your blog, and that's AI. I don't think people really understand, what's coming. So, give me an idea. Like, okay, 10 years from now, I know that, or whatever. Like, is AI just going to be in every aspect of our life? Is that where the world is headed?
I, I want to be clear that I don't think AI is going to be the end all be all to every scenario in life. The human element is very important for us. I know that AI, with some of the common AI tools out there like ChatGPT, AI passing the Turing test has been a big deal. I don't know if that's been talked about enough, but the human element will still be very important. I look at AI as a way to augment what a human can get done in a day or in a week or in a month, right? AI should be, think of it as like an assistant for you that can help you do things faster, more accurately, and doesn't require really any care and feeding other than, there's some instances where you will have to, work with AI a little more than others, but, it's just going to be something that will help everyone get more done. Um, it's not going to take over the world, but it will be basically relied upon to do very important things for all businesses, in my opinion.
All right, good. So I'll still keep my day job, and I won't try to get on the next ship to the moon. So that's good to know. So let's bring it down though to like a 10-foot level today. I'm a small business owner. I'm not really super knowledgeable on all the latest bells and whistles with everything AI, but I know people are coming to my website. I want to have maybe a chat bot or a better experience for people in the contact us form. How can a small business owner, for example, leverage AI in a chatbot or in some sort of environment like that?
Yeah, great question. We're seeing a lot of businesses dip their toe in the water with exactly that scenario. Um, I'm assuming that most small businesses, right? You've got folks that are out doing the work. They probably don't have a big staff of admin folks just sitting around waiting for the phone to ring or waiting for leads to come in on the website. So what we've seen, speaking of chatbots, is you could implement an AI powered chatbot on your website to handle things like customer service inquiries. It could be sales leads. The chatbot could, in essence, be programmed for your common responses, right? Like, I need my heater or my air conditioner is out, right? Can you help me schedule an appointment? Stuff like that. And you can point them and train those things. We look at it as like kind of taking the first 80 to 90% of what customers would contact a business for and automating that. So, those common questions could be answered. It could provide product recommendations and even process orders, right? AI is getting smart enough now to be kind of fed with agent capabilities where it can do things for you instead of just provide information.
And I love what you're talking about because it's very doable. I think sometimes when small business owners hear AI, they're like, "Oh, that's out of my wheelhouse. I don't know how to do all that stuff." But what you're really talking about is stuff that it is easy to implement. It's not for other people. It's for you, that small business owner. And it's not just related to chatbots. What about marketing and sales and leveraging AI to personalize those experiences, or how you're communicating with people? Is that another good use case for AI?
That's a perfect use case. And what I'll say about that is, sometimes we have writer's block, or sometimes you've got a new product coming out and you're trying to think, how do I get the right messaging, right? How do I make this thing really, separate itself from my competitors, right? So you can leverage tools in AI to help you get, I'd say, to start your creative process, right? To get you 85% of the way there, and start with some creativity, start with some ingenuity, right? Just kind of get the script going, right? Get the processes started. And then once your brain is kind of thinking, all right, in that same vein of what am I trying to accomplish here, AI can do you can come in and kind of go on top of AI to figure out the rest of it, right? Take it to the last 15% and get it to a releasable level or a production level. But we're looking at AI to analyze customer data to create personalized marketing campaigns. That can include targeted ads, personalized email marketing, product recommendations. We mentioned that earlier with the chatbots as well, and it can all be based on customer behavior, and very easy to configure. Right, this stuff doesn't require you to spend a lot of money with some IT provider or whatnot to come in and do all this for you. My familiarity is with the Microsoft tool set, which I know is designed for small businesses to be able to utilize without having to pay an arm and a leg for a professional services team to come in and set it up for you.
I will tell you, and this is not a commercial for Copilot, which is Microsoft's, AI platform and tool, but I use Copilot like with Word and with PowerPoint and with all the Office stuff, and it is wild. I mean, I don't now. I'm like, how did I function without this stuff? Can you just share a little bit about like, what does Copilot do for people that aren't really familiar with how integrated it can be with your day to day use of your computer?
Yeah, that's actually really important to double click on. So in my work life, I use a Gen AI assistant. Right, you referenced the Microsoft term Copilot. There's other ones out there as well, right? I'm just trying to reference AI as a whole, and not, to your point, not make this a
Yep.
Microsoft commercial. But the way I use it is personal organization, right? So efficiency in how I manage my day, follow ups on tasks. I start my day with a prompt in my chat client, which is Microsoft Teams, to catch me up on anything I've missed from the last 7 days. Right, make it a table, bold the items where I was mentioned directly on things I have to follow up on. I can ask it to what does my next couple days look like? What meetings do I have? And if you've used these AI tools to transcribe any meetings or to keep up on, if you've used it to be a part of your prior meetings, you can actually recap those. You can grab the action items from those. It puts it all out in a nice format so you can quickly catch up on things. I guess from a summary, I can get caught up more quickly. I can be more organized. And I can also use AI to help educate me on new meetings that I might have. Like if I'm trying to meet with a new customer, I may ask AI to, hey, find me out all the information I need to know about XYZ customer or person at XYZ company, and that will prep me for a meeting, and make me seem more educated. Like I really know what I'm talking about, and I know the person I'm meeting with better than having to go out and do all the searching manually myself. So again, think about Copilot as kind of like an intern or an assistant that just goes and gets all the information for you, brings it, makes it nicely presentable for you to then digest.
It's funny, while you were talking, I was like, "Oh my god, I use Microsoft Teams and I don't do that summary stuff, and I'm now going to do that because that sounded awesome." And what I've realized about AI, and this is something I think, small business owners out there should be aware of, is AI can do a lot. You just has to ask it to do a lot. And sometimes I think people look at AI, whatever tool you use, and they treat it like a search engine and like
Mhm.
with a very basic, transactional question answer thing. But isn't AI really like you have to really push it almost and really go deep and ask it to do things to really get back what you want? And it's almost like a creative writing contest. Is that the way that people should be thinking about AI? Do they have it wrong by treating it like a search engine?
They do. They do. It's a very unique skill set to be able to write prompts for AI. And when the big search engines were really becoming popular, like Google and Bing and different ones out there, that was a new skill set for everyone to figure out how to search, right? I've had to help my parents figure out like how to get the results they want out of a search engine. AI is a little bit different. With AI, prompt engineering is a new term that's going to be very, very important over the coming years. And there will be experts, kind of like data scientists. There's going to be prompt engineering scientists that companies will hire and work with to build these prompts. Now that may not be as applicable to small business, but the how to prompt is certainly the key to AI. Generally, what you want to do is ask it. You want to kind of set up the framework of what you're asking it, and then give it the data sources that you want it to look through, whether that be like emails, Teams chats, meeting recaps, whatever. And then you can keep iterating as well. So once it brings you back a little bit of information, then you can say, okay, now do this. Brings you back a little bit more. Okay, now do this. And so that's the way we have to think about prompting. It's certainly kind of trial by error. And the nice thing about the AI tool set is that it's constantly learning. So if you get an answer or response that you don't like, that doesn't hit the mark of what you're going for, whether you prompted it correctly or not, you can give feedback to the system. And our tools, it's got like the thumbs up, thumbs down thing. So you can thumbs up if it's good, thumbs down if it's bad, and the system is always learning and trying to improve and get better. So yes, prompting is very important. It's very different than putting in search terms and search queries.
Yeah, and it's so true that you can have it analyze data. I was talking to this small business owner the other day. They sell plumbing hardware supplies, and they imported all of their stock, whatever they had in stock and whatnot. And they said analyze it for all sorts of stuff. Is that like what people are people doing that with if they're selling like physical items or whatever, using it for this operational efficiency?
Absolutely. So AI tools should be able to plug into any of the spreadsheet software out there. So if you're using, like an Excel or some kind of a spreadsheet tool, you could plug in AI to do things like inventory management, right? So AI can optimize inventory levels, do predictive demand, automating restocking processes. Carrying extra stock is not good for the balance sheet. Overstocking is not good, or stock outs, right? If you don't have enough, right? So you can use AI to look at historical data and predict what you'll need for your company based on the trends and the analysis that AI can provide.
So cool. So cool. All right. Before we wrap up, I want to talk about using AI in our real life. I'll tell you one way I do it, but I want to know something fun that you do.
Sure.
So I have gone to my refrigerator. I have taken a picture. I put everything visible so I could see it all. I take a picture of everything and I say, based on what you see here, what recipes, give me 3 recipes that take less than 15 minutes that I can make right now. And it will give me back
So
recipes that
cool.
like are like stupid proof. And I do this. Like, do you use AI in any kind of fun way that we could all like steal your hack?
Oh yeah, yeah. So one thing that we've done at Microsoft over the last probably 3 or 4 months is a prompt of the day, right? Because we want to use the tooling and be experts at how to use this stuff because there's so much to it. The prompts can get super detailed and long. So the more you work with it, the more you understand it, the better it gets. So we've had lots of prompts sent to us by some of our folks that are focused on usage and being kind of a center of excellence. But some of the prompts got really, really outside of work, right? Like, write me a poem about XYZ topic, or write a song lyric, or even, one way I've used it in my personal life is so I've got a little side hustle outside of my Microsoft work where my wife and I do real estate investing. And I had asked Copilot in the Bing platform to make me a business logo for my small business, right? And it popped out incredible logos that I feel like I would have paid thousands of dollars to some graphic designer to make for me, right? So literally, 1 minute of work, here's my company, here's kind of what we're about. Can you generate me a logo? Pops it out. Several of them. You can iterate that. I want it to be more modern. Whatever the new thing is, and now I use that in my email signature for my side work. So that's just one example of how I've used AI to help me and my small business generate a quick logo for our company. And there's going to be so many more things that we're going to do with it. Like you said, writing out maybe a blog post, or a way to maximize our sales efforts, or really anything else. It's almost an endless amount of things that you can do with AI on a personal level, not even talking about, marketing and sales and inventory and process automation. One of the other things that I've found really helpful is it can help me write emails, which I know that may sound rudimentary, but if you need to write an email to a customer and maybe it's bad news and you don't really know the right words, You can write your email, ask Copilot to look at your email and make it more formal, make it more empathetic. Can you shorten this email? Can you make it longer? Right? All those kinds of things are extremely helpful for anyone who's writing emails, which is probably all of us these days.
It's so true. I mean, if you lean into it, you can get so much out of it. And for small business owners that are out there, there's a great new resource coming up. So Thrive, the sponsor of this podcast, and Microsoft have a webinar coming up, a free webinar coming up on September 18th. It's transforming small business with AI, a beginners webinar with Microsoft and Cyclotron. And let me tell you the URL, and we're going to put in the show notes. It's thrive.biz/AI dash webinar. Thrive.biz/AI dash webinar. I know some of your teammates from Microsoft are going to be there. What's this all about?
So, as far as I know, it's going to be a similar conversation to the one we're having today, although I think it's going to show some examples, answer questions, right? There's a lot of unknowns about AI right now. Everyone's trying to figure out what does it all mean. So Cyclotron is a very, very good partner that we work with all the time to help customers get into AI. They usually handle the enterprise level, bigger shops, but you know, AI is applicable across the board to any size company. So, I'd encourage everyone to tune in, see what they can offer. They'll show live examples of how this stuff works, so it's not all kind of magic in the ether out there. So should be a really really good use of time. I'd highly recommend attending.
Amazing. Yeah. And this is like one of those AI webinars where you actually get tangible stuff out. And it's not some 30,000 foot view about 5 years from now. It's right now stuff. So we'll put the free reg link in the show notes. Definitely should be there. And this was great today. Really appreciate all the information you're sharing. And where can people find you or connect with you or follow you and all of that?
Well, my name is Steve Jones, so it should be very easy to find me on any social platform out there. No, kidding. I'm happy to provide my handle to follow up on, but yeah, I'm on LinkedIn. Um, Try to be a good representative of the world in technology. So look for me out there, and hopefully we'll come across each other in the future.